If you can gracefully exit without anybody pushing you out, when I say anybody, nobody need to kill you, no disease need to come, no organism need to invade your body, by yourself you gracefully exit it because you understand it's time for you, then we say this is Mahasamadhi. That means absolute equanimity has come to you. This is not new in this country. In every generation we have seen hundreds of people. We have talked about Nirmalananda. I must tell you about Nirmalananda. Like, I was probably just around 20 or 21 years of age. I'm living wild. I largely, either I'm on a motorcycle or I'm in the jungle, sleeping upon trees and existing myself, surviving in the jungle all by myself. It's one of those days where I've been in the Bilagiri Betta, which is a very fantastic forest, you must see that, it's full of wildlife. I am staying in the jungle for about 4 days and it's rainy season. I usually don't have any arrangement, all I have is motorcycle and gas, that's it. So I survive in the jungle, I know how to survive, but being rainy season, I've become very hungry. Almost for nearly 32 hours I've not eaten anything. And I'm head to toe in mud because it's raining. Wherever I sit down and get up, I become all mud. Then I came up the hill on my motorcycle. There were no restaurants, there were nothing at that time in that place. There was just one temple and the temple was closed. There was no food anywhere. Then I saw this little ashram, 4-acre ashram. Then I rode in. Those are times, even in college, I never got off the motorcycle. Even to first floor, I went on my motorcycle, okay. In our house, going into the house, coming out of the house, we always went on the motorcycle and came out on the motorcycle, steps and everything. So I rode up and there were about 6-7 steps to go to his little hermitage that was there. I rode up that and I'm explaining this simply to make you understand how wacky the mind is. Always our motorcycle will never have a stand, okay? It'll not have a stand, it'll not have a battery, it'll not have many things which we think is extra weight. We've made it minimal. So I go and park the motorcycle leaning on his cottage like this and I get down and I'm wearing ankle-length boots full of mud from head to toe. I take off my helmet and look at him. He just looks at me like this and laughs and tears start coming in his eyes. I said, what's wrong with the old man, He's like in his 70s, I'm 21 or so. Then I said, I need to eat, I'm extremely hungry, I was ready to eat him. Then he did something that I could never do. Never in my life I had bowed down to anybody, forget about that, I have never been to a temple. I have not done this even in front of God. My mother says, hold it like this, no, I'll stand like this. I won't do this, I'm confirmed, whatever. So this man comes and falls at my feet and my muddy boots, he holds it in his hands and weeps. I just kind of, it was just shook me because this is a 70-year-old man. Then I said, no, what are you doing? I just need to eat, I don't need this. Then he took me inside and he tried to unlace my boots. I said, don't do that, and I put my boots outside and went inside and sat. He baked some bread, he had nothing else, he bakes his own bread, he baked bread and he gave me a jar of honey. So I ate it up and then we started talking. Then whenever I went that way, because I saw that he had nothing much at all, I would take him a bunch of bananas or some apples or whatever fruits that was there, and he always gave me a can of honey to carry back. So this became a quiet… because he was not speaking. He was for 14 years on silence, so he will only write. So I will speak and he will write, it became a relationship over a number of years. Then, this is 96.
It was a big controversy where…
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In
it was
96.
everywhere on the TV where all his life he worked towards wanting to get Mahasamadhi, and when he found you and you told him the techniques, and when he was about to get there, apparently the government got involved and like, you cannot do that.
In 1996 he announced, I'm 74 years of age right now, I don't want to die as a rogi, I want to die as a yogi. So when the Uttarayana comes, that is after this winter solstice happens, I will leave my body. He announced in the month of April or May, I'm not
And
very
media
sure about
got
the
to
time.
know.
No, media came. Then at that time I was there and he told me this and we discussed a few things and my wife Vijay and my daughter were sitting there. And we went into all kinds of details which we never speak about. So when this was over, he was all very emotional about it and then we were driving back. Then I saw my wife was weeping. I said, why? She said, I also want to live like that. Then I was joking with her, okay, when are you going to leave? But then she said, no, I'm very serious. I want to go like him. What he was saying was fantastic and what you were explaining to him, that's how I want to live. I said, why do you want to leave? Because 12 years of marriage, we've been traveling. People have been absolutely wonderful to us everywhere, but there is no home as such, we're always on the move. So just then, we were building a small place to live. I said, just now you're getting a home after 12 years, and the girl was only 7 years of age. I said, why now? She said, right now, everything within me is wonderful. Everything around me is just the way I want it. This is the time I want to live. I don't want to live when things are wrong. I don't want to live when I'm not well or something is not well. I just thought, because she was intense. Either she is at the peak of joy or at the dumps. She doesn't know in between. She would hit the peak or she would go down, but she never knew the in between. And she's not a great practitioner of yoga or something. She was keeping her normal practice, but nothing much. Only thing is she was intense person. There was no moment of dullness with her, she was always intense. So she took up the sadhana so intensely. From the month of August it started, and she started announcing to everybody, in the month of February I will leave. I said, why are you talking about this rubbish? People will make a joke out of you. She said, no, I'm leaving in February. And she started telling the girl. I said, please don't disturb the girl, what will she think, 7-year-old girl? But she brought the girl to that level of understanding. The girl's birthday is in March, this is in January. Then we went to see Nirmalananda for the last time. He wrote a letter to me saying that this is the last letter he was writing every day 100 letters to people all over the world. That's his only communication. So he wrote one letter to me saying this is my last letter, and so we went to see him. He left on January 8th or 10th, I don't remember.
But
somewhere
Sadhguru, there was a lot of
I'll come.
resistance for that.
When he said he'll leave on this date, the so-called rationalists moved the court.
Imagine the very day which you're preparing for so many years. And
The rationalists moved the court and posted police in the ashram. This man, I want to tell you how he lived. He has a small Ganapati temple. If he wants to do puja, he will wait for the flowers to fall down from the tree. He will not pluck. He doesn't want to hurt the tree. Only if the flowers fall down, he will take that and worship. Otherwise, he will not do that worship. Some leaf he will take and offer to the god that he believes in. This is the kind of man, they put police there. So when I went there, end of December, with a group of our people, about 100, 200 people, we went there to see him because we knew it's the last part of his life. He was still fit and well. He just cried. He said, see, they put police, 2 constables were sitting there. He said, they put police to watch me. I said, you don't worry, what's your problem? They're just 2 people sitting there, you don't look at their uniforms, leave them alone, you just focus on what you have to do. But he was deeply disturbed. He said, how can they put police watching me? Am I a thief? Why are they putting police on me?
I mean, the very thing he should be respected for. And these kind of… I mean, we
In
need
this
to
culture,
discuss this.
such a man would be worshipped. But unfortunately, in today's India, police were
But
put…
Sadhguru, the very fact that he was healthy, why one has to drag to their death is what I don't understand. And like euthanasia, these people, they will, like the ones who were fighting for it to not be passed, they will even snatch your, food. But they definitely have no love for somebody's life, but they're scared of death.
See,
That is for sure.
the culture has become in such a way that we are in a denial of death. But you must understand this. The only reason why somebody turns spiritual is when they realize they're mortal. If you were immortal, spiritual process would be meaningless. By thinking about God, you will not become spiritual, you will become fanciful, you will become unrealistic. You think there are shortcuts to life by believing in God. But the moment you see that you're mortal, then you naturally want to know what is beyond this body. What is the nature of my existence? These questions are very natural when you understand that you're mortal. So in this culture, we have never hidden mortality. Always death happened in open, you know. When somebody is dying in your house, they'll keep him outside so that everybody can see how he dies. So this is a thing that people will watch, whether he dies gracefully, whether he vacates his residence gracefully or he needs to be pushed out. This was very, very important. Unfortunately, we've lost that. We need to understand this, whatever we may be doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you're making movies, I do something else, somebody runs a state, it doesn't matter what we are doing. We are mortal. This is the fundamental reality of our existence. If we forget this one thing, only by forgetting this one thing, we start doing idiotic things on this planet. We have done all these idiotic things simply because today we have to talk about saving rivers, saving mountains, nonsense. This is all utter nonsense to me, saving a river, saving the forest. This is simply because we think we're immortal. We may not be actually thinking so, but we're not conscious of our mortality. If we understood that our stay here is just a brief amount of time, we're just baton carriers from previous generation to the next generation, we are temporary occupants of this planet. If this awareness was there within us every day of our life, we would live completely differently. It's very, very important to be conscious of one's mortality.